What's going on, everybody? It's Frito back again for another video for your Overwatch. This time, we're doing a complete breakdown of all 21 heroes, what they're strong against, what they're weak against, and what they synergize with. This guide is designed to help you in the hero selection process, so you can start to weigh in your mind which characters can counter the ones that are giving you the most trouble, when would be a good opportunity to try a new hero that you don't know that much about, and also ways that you can select heroes to synergize with your teammates' picks. In the description, there'll be timestamps for each character so you can quickly zip to whichever section of the guide that you want. This guide will be split into 4 parts covering each of the roles of Overwatch: offensive, defensive, tank, and support, and you can expect the other 3 parts out this week. Also keep in mind the upload date of this video, as things may change with further patches. When you're getting frustrated and wrecked by an enemy hero that you can't seem to counter, your Overwatch is here to help. With all that considered, please remember to like the video so other people can see it, share it around with your friends, as I hope this will help improve everybody's Overwatch experience. Starting at the top with Genji. Genji is a flanker with abilities that help him infiltrate the enemy line. He does have a potential to do good DPS, but can't burst down targets as quickly and easily as Tracer can. Instead, his abilities can make massive impacts on the battlefield. Having trouble with Bastion? Genji's flanking can get him at an angle to harass a Bastion, and a quick reflect as soon as Bastion focuses you will cause the robot turret to melt himself instead of you. Genji also does well against Torbjorn, as he can shoot shurikens at range and can use reflect and dash to close the distance when needed. Genji also excels at hunting down enemy snipers because he can run up walls, double jump, and dash to get to high ground Tracer can't. Genji is weak against enemies who have attacks he can't reflect, such as Mei, Symmetra, Winston, Reinhardt, and Zarya. Due to his less reliable and lower DPS, he's not preferable to pick against a tank-heavy lineup, specifically Roadhog, who can reliably hook and focus down Genji as he tries to harass the backline. Genji synergizes with characters that can keep up with his speed and breaching, such as Tracer, Winston, and D.Va. Due to his high potential, he's a prime target when in a fight, making Zarya's shields and Zenyatta's Harmony Orb and Transcendence useful to keep Genji alive when he has Dragon Blade out. Since Genji screams loudly to announce he's pulling out his sword, the enemy team may respond by running away and preparing to focus Genji down. Ultimates that can disable the enemy team, such as Reinhardt and Zarya, can maximize the damage output of Dragon Blade. McCree has been reined in after the big nerf, but his role to stabilize the team line against flanks while retaining a decent amount of DPS potential remains intact. He's especially good against flanking Tracers and Reapers who struggle to evade a well-placed flashbang. McCree's Flash is his most powerful ability at present and can be used to stun various heroes who are attempting to execute an ultimate, such as Reaper, Roadhog, and Pharah within range. His flash can also be carefully placed above Reinhardt's shield, causing Rein to drop the shield and expose him and his team to take incoming damage. Otherwise, McCree's decent damage output can make short work of enemy supports. Especially after the Fan the Hammer nerf, McCree has a lot of weaknesses. With his only mobility ability being a short roll, he's prone to being shelled down from Pharahs and Junkrats who are outside of his effective range. McCree's slow movement and squishy health will get eaten up by a Roadhog hookshot melee combo. Zarya's shields protect her from McCree's stun, and her large health pool gives her a big advantage versus him one-on-one. Also, with a combination of his range damage being nearly worthless and his slow-moving ground-based mobility, he's prone to getting his head picked off by enemy Widowmakers. Since McCree is a character whose role is to stabilize a front line, it's important that he has a front line to play with. McCree synergizes well in a death ball with support characters behind a Reinhardt shield. His stabilize and burst playstyle also synergizes with Roadhog, who enjoys bolstering a front line against flankers as well. With Widow's body shot damage nerfed, Pharah has risen to be a star hero in Overwatch. Simply put, Pharah will excel greatly against all the heroes who can't shoot up at her, such as Junkrat, whose grenades won't go high enough, and Reinhardt, who can't shield effectively against an aerial attack without making himself vulnerable from other angles. Otherwise, Pharah can make short work of Torbjorn turrets if she can stay out of range, or any support or character on the receiving end of her rockets. Pharah's weakness is hit scan characters focusing her down as she flies through the air. Soldier 76 is the simplest answer to Pharah, as he can reliably hit her as she soars through the air. If Roadhog can get in a position to deny airspace and hit a ranged hook, he can make short work of Pharah as well. Widow used to technically hard counter Pharah, but the body shot nerf makes that less the case, giving Pharah more time to respond with a spam of rockets in her direction. But as long as Widow can use her team as a distraction, Pharah won't get a chance to engage the Widowmaker before she's already received lethal damage. Sniping a headshot on a bobbing Pharah in air might be hard, but with at least 2 hit scan characters on the team, Pharah shouldn't be a problem. Pharah's best friend is Mercy, who is the only character in the game that can stay at her elevated level of the battlefield, as well as provide her the health and damage support she needs to excel. Pharah also benefits the Mercy as well, as an airborne friendly gives her more options when flying around the map between teammates. If the enemy team is focusing Pharah, a well-timed Zarya shield can enforce her advance. Pharah's ultimate inflicts massive damage at medium range, but can use some help to set up. Reinhardt or Zarya can nab a clump of enemy characters for Pharah to unleash into. Even Widowmaker's ult can be used at an opportune time to reveal an aerial flank for Pharah to exploit. Reaper's kit allows him some flanking potential, but his strongest attribute is his devastating close range damage output. Reaper excels at melting the enemy tank's HP away, as their character model hitboxes are so big the entire spread of Reaper's shotguns is bound to hit. Reaper even can evade a Roadhog insta-kill if you hold down the button for Wraith form as you get hooked. Reaper will activate it as soon as the hook disengages, and you should be able to get away before he lands the final blow. Reaper is weak against ranged heroes such as Pharah and Widow, who he will struggle to find in range of his shotguns, and have the mobility to get vertical on him when he closes in. McCree will stop him dead in his tracks and make him think twice about flanking. Zarya is the only tank that can give him trouble, as if she blocks your massive amount of damage with her shields, it will give her a ton of charge, boosting her own damage output. Reaper's damage output makes him a priority target in team fights. Just like Genji, Zarya's shields help snowball team fights and keep Reaper alive and dealing damage. Lucio's heals and brawling playstyle synergizes with Reaper, but better yet is a well-timed speed boost that can launch Reaper into position to Death Blossom, and a Zarya shield on top of it makes for a deadly 3-part combo. Otherwise, Reaper will synergize with characters that can immobilize enemies, namely those that can set up his ultimate for maximum damage. Reinhardt, Mei, and Zarya are up to that task. Soldier 76 isn't the noob-friendly character he's made out to be. He's actually got a fairly high skill ceiling if you're up to the task with your aim. His output is so average that you have to play great to get any value out of him, otherwise you're likely only chipping away at the enemy's life totals, and with how powerful heals are in the game, if you're not getting them down, you may not be making a big enough impact on the battle. Despite these shortcomings, Soldier is an almost auto-include if Pharah troubles you. He can shoot her like skeet out of the sky. Soldier's effective against Tracer, not as clear of a counter pick as McCree's stun is, but Soldier's health pack can deny Tracer's ability to quickly burst him down. Soldier's biggest weakness is his middling attributes, so characters with a more weighted playstyle who excel at a particular area of the battlefield will most easily take him down. Soldier falls to big bursts of damage on targets he can't eliminate quickly or efficiently enough. Roadhog can deal with him at close, Widowmaker can with a ranged headshot, Reaper can Wraith form to close the distance, and Diva can fly in with Defense Matrix to do the same. Soldier synergizes in a well-balanced death ball with Reinhardt, Lucio, and/or Mercy. As the inefficiency of his rifle can struggle to bring down targets, Zenyatta's Discord Orb can make for a deadly ranged firing squad. Tracer's biggest strength is her ability to find weakened or low HP heroes and focus them down. Tracer is the bane of Zenyatta's existence, as almost no matter how far back he plays, Tracer is capable of blinking 3 times, being within touching distance, emptying her blasters into the Omnic, ending him and rewinding back in time for T. As long as Widow isn't tucked away on high ground Tracer can't get to, Tracer fights Widow fairly well. However, you must remember, half of the victory versus Widow is distracting her, even if you can't confirm the kill. A Widow that worries about you isn't scoping up taking heads off your teammates. Widow's mine and automatic rifle can rival Tracer's pistols, so be careful. Tracer's speed is nightmarishly fast, and with proper blinks, Junkrat won't be able to keep up with you. Unless of course he's being played by Seagull, who is a god among men and never misses a projectile. Tracer also has the speed to chase down Lucio, who often slips away in team fights from less agile characters. Tracer can't 1v1 big ol' Winston, but be sure to note this dynamic changes with multiple Tracer picks. McCree's flashbang is one of the few things that can quickly stop her in her tracks, and even the nerfed Fan the Hammer is enough to take her low health pool down. I'd also say Tracer is weak to Roadhog and Pharah, but I have to put an asterisk here. If the Tracer is great, she'll run circles around the Roadhog and he'll never land a hook. Similarly, if your Pharah aim and prediction isn't impeccable, it doesn't matter that a rocket does most of Tracer's HP, you'll never hit her. However, in the right hands, these characters can make Tracer's life a hard one. Roadhog keeps the backline stable and ends her with a well-placed hook, and Pharah can lurk overhead outside of the effective range of Tracer's pistols. If that's not in your wheelhouse though, Soldier 76's health pack can sustain his life and nullify her quick burst of damage. A couple of headshots from Soldier's rifle mixed with a Helix rocket can burst her down in no time. Tracer synergizes with Tracer! Bet you didn't see that coming! One Tracer can be an annoyance, but multiple Tracers can force the opposing team to rethink their composition entirely. If a Tracer duo can sustain a fight well enough on the back line, it can split the attention of the front line, making the job of your other 4 teammates a piece of cake. Other heroes that can jump into the back line work with her as well, such as Genji, Winston, and D.Va, all who have their own strengths when it comes to breaching. Zenyatta's Discord Orb can mark a target for death, and even though it only lasts for 3 seconds out of his sightline, Tracer has the speed to chase down and eliminate most targets with that 50% added damage boost. Lucio's area of effect heal works well for Tracer's swarming playstyle, and the occasional speed boost makes her even harder to hit in stride. Zarya's Graviton Surge pairs nicely with Tracer's Pulse Bomb, which can be kind of tricky to land properly to get more than 1 kill without being set up. Well guys, that's been it for part 1 of my complete 21 hero Overwatch counters and synergies guide. The rest of it will come out this week, so keep your eyes peeled on your sub box. Please share it with your friends who are having trouble understanding how picking works in Overwatch. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you'd like to see more. My name is Frito for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.